Well. You're listening to Gloves Off with Professor Buitrón. Alright then, I may say words on point, straightforward. No jibber jabber, everybody forward. Issues, facts and solution. Get it at Gloves Off with Professor Buitrón. Alright, what other thing is a revolution? Get it on point with Professor Buitrón. Gloves Off, no nonsense issues, politics, community. A better men follow reader. Gloves Off, a revolutionary show with everything that you need to know. With Professor Buitrón. Watch ya!
Gloves Off is always on point. Bringing you the best on current issues, community affairs, and the happenings around us. This segment of Gloves Off is brought to you by the best, so pay them a visit. Check them out. This is Gloves Off.
We're back at you, Gloves Off, and this is Professor Buitrón. I'm here with Hector Hernandez from LAZYBOYS Tattoos, and we're going to talk about small businesses, because that's basically who's been affected the most. You know, everybody's been affected by the Wuhan flu, but what I'm getting at is that small businesses were really the ones that bowed their heads down to the community, and they were bullied into submission. And people are now kind of like angry because the governor of Texas says you guys are going to start back. So we're helping out, and I'm giving my part. Everybody's moving forward. So let's move on. How we doing? Good?
Good. Getting by, taking it day by day.
Yeah, I understand. It's been hard for everybody else, but let's go on to positives. How did you start off with, number one, tattooing and trying to start off with a business and all that good stuff?
Well, tattooing, I never thought I'd be tattooing. I always knew I was gonna get tattooed.
Okay.
So I've always liked the whole tattoo art form, the lifestyle, everything behind it. It was always awesome to me. It always appealed to me. So when I first started getting tattooed, it was on my 18th birthday. It was my first tattoo, and I got my last name on my back. And then I got another one. It was up like a few weeks later on the back of my neck. And I got another one on the back of my arm. All within the first couple months of me being 18. I liked it and fell in love with it. It wasn't until I got one on my wrist. I got some letters here going around. And I saw the way the guy sat me down and he just got a pen and started drawing on my wrist. And I was looking at it and I was like, man, the way I've always been is if I see something done, I think I can do it. So I was like, no, that looks like it's possible. I think I can do this. And after I got it all done, he started tattooing and everything. I was just paying attention to what he was doing, and I was like, that looks pretty simple. How hard can it be? You know, let me try it out. So then I ordered a kit online, and it was junk. It was nothing good, nothing too professional on it, but it was my starting point. And as soon as I picked it up, I set it up to the best of my knowledge that I know. So I set it up and I did a little tiny cross on my finger, and I was hooked after that. After that, I wanted to tattoo the whole world. I tattooed everybody. Anybody that would let me tattoo on them, practice on them, I would tattoo them. I stopped doing anything else besides, the only thing I would do is stay home and tattoo all day, all night long. And it took maybe a good 4 years before I actually got into the process of opening up a shop. And well, back then it was real simple. It was, you get the money to get the license off of the state, you go to the city and you get the okay to open up in a certain location, and good luck to you, you go. And that's how we started. At that time it was me and my wife, and we started, we rented a little shop, and the walls were white, inside it looked real basic. There was like very little stuff up, and just built it up from there. Every year it got better and better, and started decorating more and changing things up, and just went from there.
Understood. And let me tell you this, there's a lot of sanitizing and there's a lot of process towards behind it, right? It should not just go. Can you explain a little bit on that?
Yeah, the whole sanitation thing, it's always been a high priority for me since day one. I've never not done a tattoo without having to spend a good 10-15 minutes before just to do the setup of the process. And that's for each person that comes in, whether it's a small tattoo, whether it's a big tattoo. Each one takes time because you gotta wrap like if I'm gonna be touching this, I'll wrap that in plastic. If I'm gonna be touching this, I'll wrap that in plastic. Wherever I put my hands down, that's gotta be covered in plastic. My hands won't touch anything else that's not covered in plastic. Like as soon as I have my gloves on, you won't see me doing this. You won't see me doing that. Like my hands stay up in the air or posed on something where that's all it's touching. I'm only touching you, and I'm touching the stuff that's wrapped in plastic. When I'm done, everything that's wrapped in plastic, it doesn't just get cut up with scissors, like it gets unwrapped a certain way so you won't cross-contaminate anything. So when they're talking about, or when I've been seeing everybody out in the streets with their gloves and everything, it's like, man, everybody's doing it so wrong.
The cross-contamination,
yeah,
absolutely.
They're there and then they get their phone and they have the gloves on, okay, you're trying to be safe with the gloves. But then you go and you're grabbing your phone or you're grabbing your keys or you're reaching into your purse. You're messing around with your face mask, or oh, I got an itch on my forehead, like all that stuff. You're just pointless. It's just don't wear the gloves and wash your hands as soon as you're done. Or carry a little sanitizer after you're done grabbing everything. Put a little sanitizer on. You're good. But it's the sanitation for us at my shop. It's always number one.
Absolutely.
So when they're talking about like what measures are you gonna do to change, it's like the only measure I'm gonna change is I'm gonna make you wear a mask. Because everything else has been real strict. We have documents on who washed what equipment, what day, how many of them, who sterilized them, who put them in the bag. Everything is dotted down. Every piece of equipment that we have to sterilize, it's all initialed and dated the day that they did it, and that gets put away. And that has to be used within the state regulates is 2 months. I do it at 1 month. So anything that's more than 30 days that's been sterilized, we unpackage it and we sterilize it again. So it's nothing new to us. We've been doing it since day one. And it's not, I mean, like I said, the only thing I'm gonna change is people have to wear masks now. And then you can't bring 10 friends with you to watch you get tattooed. Now it's just gonna be that one person that's gonna get tattooed. And I think those were the requirements that they were saying.
I think a lot of things have changed because, you know, the governor said one thing and they have to, every municipality, many of them had different ordinances or edicts that they have put out, so now everybody has to go back to the drawing board. I understand safety.
Yeah.
I mean, I teach safety.
Yeah.
I'm also an executive chef, so I know what cross-contamination is, I know what sterilizing is, I know how to clean, I know about washing hands. I used to teach those classes.
Yeah.
I used to do that, you know, so we used to teach the food handlers, you know, here's a different story, but in Dallas, well, we had to do it, but,
Yeah.
and so things change, you know, things have to be modified, and we're gonna adapt. Yes, we're gonna adapt, you know,
Yeah.
on my business, I have to adapt for us to move forward. And the beauty of this is everybody has freedom. We live in America, which is a wonderful country,
Yeah, of course.
the best country there is,
Hell yeah.
and we're here because of freedom. And I
Yes.
think a lot of people were getting scared because a lot of the freedoms were removed.
Yeah.
Because we complied, we care about our community. Now we have to go forward. So people that say, you know what, I'm not gonna go get tattooed, or I'm not gonna go to your school, Paul, because of martial arts, because I'm scared. It's okay. You have that freedom of choice to do that. But we all have to start moving forward.
Yeah, continue with your lives. Your lives didn't end because of quarantine.
Absolutely. And you also have a cigar shop, right?
Yeah, well, it's inside the tattoo shop. And we do sell cigars. Just right now at the moment, we're a little low on cigars. But yeah, I started making ashtrays out of it. Now that I have a lot of downtime, so I make a bunch of little cigar ashtrays. You can't really fit your cigarette on this thing.
Right.
But yeah, now that
show them off. Show them off, because that's some good work,
Yeah, it's they're all cigar boxes. I've had them. I've collected them over the years. Well, not over the years, but the past year, and it was something that just to stay busy, because you can't. I'm not tattooing out of the house. I'm not gonna do it. As for other people, I can't speak for them, but it's a thing that me and my wife say, like, we can't do this. So I wanted to do something, so I started making cigar boxes, and they're selling. They're good.
They're cool.
It's a little something for you to, when you're sitting down outside with your friends smoking a cigar, just another little conversation piece. Like, oh man, where'd you get that from? Or, is that a cigar box? It's like, yeah. They're old cigar boxes that I've used, that I've sold out of and made them into boxes. So, yeah, this is keeping me busy, keeps me in the garage.
And a lot of folks don't understand that there's a whole movement with cigars, for the last couple of, and where the cigar comes from and the type, and there's a movement. How do you see, how has that been here?
It's growing. There's more and more cigar smokers out there that I've seen, or that they see that I'm smoking, and they'll come ask me about it. And hey man, my grandpa used to smoke cigars, and my dad used to smoke cigars, but every once in a while, I always wanted to get like, dude, let me know what you want to get into. We can start you off with something light, and we'll go from there. Something like a Connecticut wrapper, which is a lighter cigar, and just start there. Or if you don't really like the taste of a traditional cigar, then they have the ones that are sweet tipped, or the ones that are infused and they have flavors to it. So as soon as you put it to your mouth, you'll taste that sweetness of whatever flavor it is, and it's a good starting cigar. It's most people, you can't get addicted to cigars. You get addicted to the time you spend with others smoking cigars, because it's relaxing. It's just, you kick back, you have a drink, a coffee, water, whatever you like to drink, and it's you and 2, 3, 4, 10 other people smoking, and you're just talking and just having a conversation, and your phones are down because you have your drink in one hand, you have a cigar in the other hand, and you be on the phone all the time, and it's actually bringing people back to have conversations, not stuck on their phones all day long.
No, you're absolutely correct, because everybody's in the phone.
Yeah.
And, it's funny because I get my kids every other weekend and stuff, and I was downstairs and I was cooking, and my phone ran off, and I looked, and it's my daughter texting me, Dad. And I go, where are you? She goes, I'm upstairs. Well, you know what? Come downstairs and tell me what it is.
Yeah, that's what it's come down to now. Yeah, I'll be outside, and hey, Dad, where are you? Outside. Where are you? I was like, well, I'm just inside. Do I know where you're at? I'm like, come outside, dude. Come on, let's go do something. I'm like, all right, Dad. But yeah, it's, I don't know, the least time you can spend on your phone and actually talk to somebody, to me that means a lot. Like, you're taking the time off your busy schedule on your phone to spend time with me and just shit the bricks, talk stories about stuff that's happened, things that you've done, things that you want to do. Like, it's a good time smoking a cigar. Even smoking a cigar by yourself or smoking a cigar with somebody, it just gives you time to think and see how it's going on with everything. But yeah, I think people get addicted to that part of smoking cigars, not the actual cigars.
Do you see a lot more women now smoking cigars, or?
Here a little bit. I've seen it where we'll have some that are asking, like, hey, I smoke cigars, and I'll like, oh wow, it's like 3 or 4 girls that are actually smoking cigars. But I don't have too much of a big customer line as far as in the cigars. But from what I've seen, they're starting to. It's gonna pick up. You're gonna see it, but maybe this time next year you're gonna see a lot more females smoking cigars.
And in certain areas of the United States, you go down to Florida, those who are more cigar-oriented people, of course,
Yes.
Puerto Rican brothers
Yeah.
and over there as well, and so we came from I grew up in Kentucky where you had tobacco, you had people that would roll the cigars, you used to have that.
Nice.
I saw all that going up there. I remember in the stores over there, it wasn't a Kroger, it was kind of like an H-E-B.
Okay.
And there was an old man that would sit outside with a table and he'll be rolling the cigars and people would buy them, and I was a kid, and I would go by in there and I would just saw the craft in it. I thought that was really nice.
And it is. It's to make one cigar, they say it goes through 300 hands. From when it's planted to the day that it's harvested, and then when it's aged, and then when it's actually rolled. After it's rolled and it's aged again, then it's put in a box and it's all gets shipped out. So by the time from seed to final product, it goes through about 300 hands. 300 people have grabbed the tobacco to maintain it. Because even when they age it, it's not, okay, just put it in a pile and leave it there. It's every few days, they take leaf by leaf and they have to alternate it. And the ones on the inside go on the outside, the ones on the outside go on the inside, the ones at the bottom are at the top. And it's a long process. It's every 3 days when they do that. And it's a lot of work that goes into just rolling one cigar. It's crazy. There's videos and there's a documentary coming out soon about it. Not a documentary, but a little short film. And it shows the whole process of it and how much work and effort it takes to make just one cigar. And these people are rolling, I think it was like 100 plus cigars a day. And it's just one cigar after another. And it's like how you said, it's not like a cigarette where it's all machine, it's all chemicals, it's all everything so it tastes exactly the same. Each cigar, it's just nothing but leaves inside. The only little bit of glue, and it's a vegetable glue, it's on the very back end, they have a little cap, or what they call a cap, and that's what holds everything together. So it's just like that little lip around it that has a little bit of glue, and that's it. Other than that, I mean, it's all natural. It's just straight tobacco, and there's like the traditional cigars, there's no flavors infused into it. There's no nothing. All the flavors you get from it is from the actual leaves.
Absolutely.
And it's awesome when you find a cigar and you're smoking it and you get to taste, like you taste different. And it's like, oh, like there's no flavors in it, but I can taste like an earthy tone to it, or I can taste like hay, or it tastes like what a rainy day smells like, or I'm getting little hints of vanilla and stuff like that.
Right.
And it's all from wherever the tobacco is grown. Like you got tobacco from Honduras, you got tobacco from Nicaragua, from the Dominican Republic. Like tobacco's grown everywhere, and it's every place. I guess the soil embeds into the leaves themselves, and you'll see you'll taste it. I mean, it's one of those things you can taste it after you smoke a while. You start picking up on all these notes, and you can taste the difference. And you know what? I like cigars from Nicaragua. Like both that harvest was badass like 2 years ago because it tastes really good. It's really smooth, and some of them get a little bitter, and it's like, oh, you know what? It was a little bit bitter, like it wasn't right at the time or whatever. But it's I like it. I love it.
And where's your shop? If you don't mind me.
My shop is 5309 McPherson Road, Suite 5. It's McPherson and Hillside, right behind the Pizza Hut.
Okay. Yeah, right next to it, actually, right?
Yeah. It's a Pizza Hut. There's a tiny little
Shopping center kind of
four
thing.
apartments, and then it's us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right next door to Visuela's Boot Repair. That man is a workhorse.
Absolutely. He's an icon here in Laredo. He's been here forever,
Yeah.
I don't know who hasn't taken a pair of boots or for Visuelas to fix. Those are icon businesses, and
those are the ones that are hurting because he's still up and running right now. And every once in a while I'll stop by and check out the shop and I'll go talk to him. And he was like, man, did like $40 today because that's all the boots that came in. I was like, man. And he's an older gentleman. He's up there in numbers, and he's just all he wants to do is work. He had a surgery done. It was a while back, and as soon as he got out of the hospital, he went straight to the shop to pick up boots because he had to fix. And I saw him pull up, and I went up. It was like 2 weeks that he was out, I asked him, how you doing? He still had the hospital release bandages and everything. No, I need to pick up these boots because my kids don't want to let me work and this and that. I was like, you just got out of the hospital, so I just relaxed. No, I don't want to relax. I got to work. I'm like, damn. Like, you can't teach that nowadays.
Absolutely, you can't. And I think that's what's hurting right now, especially with this crisis, was that you had a lot of mom and pop shops.
Yes.
You have a lot of small businesses. You know, they say that 2 out of 5 aren't going to come back. It's those that really want to go ahead. They're going to fight for it to make it.
Yeah.
And I think we all in the community need to embrace that and help each other.
Gloves Off is always on point. Bringing you the best on current issues, community affairs, and the happenings around us. This segment of Gloves Off is brought to you by the best, so pay them a visit. Check them out. This is Gloves Off.